we look at this truck. You buy the truck immediately goes down in value. I believe it's something like 5 or 10 years. They're going to make it, you take and depreciate the truck over. I pay $50,000 for a dump truck. Each year you recover $10,000. You're going to take as a tax deduction a loss on your taxes of $10,000. Let's say they're going to let you depreciate this over 5 years. Okay, that means even though you spent the $50,000, you had to pay taxes on $50,000 this year. Okay, they're going to let you take and say next year that, you know what, that truck lost a fifth of its value, so I'm going to not pay taxes on $10,000 that I earned this year. Does that make sense? That's what a deduction is. This is important because we're going to get talking about real estate tax deductions in just a second. Okay, you buy an asset. Even though you spent the money to buy this asset for your business, the government still says you don't have that money, but you still have to pay us taxes on that money, even though you spent it. Okay? So my boss bought that camera over there, right? And he paid a big number for it, right? They say, you know what, the camera over there has a usable life of 10 years. So they're going to let him take 1/10 of the value of that camera as a loss on his taxes every year, saying that that camera is less and less valuable, even though he's already spent that money. All right? So you're paying taxes on money you've already spent. Okay? Real estate lets you do depreciation too. Here's the thing. What's different about real estate and the dump truck and the car? The value goes up, but they let you say that the value goes down. Why? Because real estaters have a really good, strong lobby that gets them laws passed that make no sense in reality, but help us out to sell this stuff. All right? So we can depreciate the improvements, but not the land. And what we'll do is we'll get through this. I'll get through that little graph, and then we'll take a break because your brains are probably ready to go, and I don't want. It's really messy to clean up. The last class, the mop, it was not good. The janitor was really angry. Okay, so what does that mean? Let's take a look at this building. Let's say this building. Somebody give me a number. What do you think this building's worth? Please use round numbers.
10 million.
10 million. Fantastic. Might be a little low, but we'll say 10 million. Of that, some value has to be the land. What do you want to say? It's a pretty interesting area. What do you think? 2 million for the land?
Yeah.
2 million? Okay. So the government says, hey, look, dirt doesn't go down in value. We're not stupid. It doesn't go down in value. We're going to let you depreciate the building, though. Okay? So they say, okay, if it's non-residential, which is what this is, you can depreciate over.
27.5.
That's residential. 39 years. 39 years. Okay? So what we do is we take the 8 million. This is very complicated. You take the 8 million, divide it by 39, and you're going to take that number as a loss in your taxes every year. Complicated, right? That's nuts. It's very, very easy, actually, to depreciation. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, we're getting rents in from the property, let's say. Let's say we bought this building, we rent to the Board of Realtors, the college. All right, so let's say we're getting, I don't know, $500,000 a year in rent, okay? We have now a tax deduction of $135,000. Well, that means of that $500,000, we're only going to pay tax on 300 and some odd thousand of it because we had this tax deduction saying, hey, that first 100 and some odd thousand we made, that was actually a loss because the building went down in value. Does that make sense? Kind of cool, right? Your stocks don't do that. Your stocks don't give depreciation. Look, I want to get that money from my investor. I want to take this is good stuff. It is good stuff. So swimming pools, fences, all that stuff counts. We talked about the allocation for land. So again, if this was a residential building, we would depreciate over 27.5 years, probably because residential buildings take a bigger beating than non-residential buildings. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is. I just know that's what the laws are. So we would do exactly what I said. We divide the amount that we paid for the property less the land. So we allocate. Your tax advisor would tell you, hey, for this type of building, typically we do 15%, 20, 25, whatever for the value of the land. And then we would take that as a loss on our taxes. The government does want their money back, though. Why? Because that's what they do. So when do they get it? When you resell. Well, no, not when you go to a zero basis, just when you sell, period. You don't have to ever get to a zero basis for them to get their money back. There's a special tax called a cost recovery tax. And a cost recovery tax, you are taxed for every dollar of depreciated basis below what the original purchase price was. So what does that look like? We bought it for $10 million. We said $8 million of it is building. We depreciated it down to $4 million, okay? So on our books, we have a $6 million basis. $2 million for the land, $4 million for the building, right? We now sell it for $20 million. Okay? They say, hey, that $4 million that you depreciated, you're going to pay us 25% tax on every one of those dollars as we get it back. Yeah, I know, that's how I feel. Jerks, right? Just want to make some stinking money here. Then that other $10 million in profit that you made, you're going to pay us a special tax rate on that called capital gains, which is a special tax rate because it's lower than many of the others. So here is the beautiful graph that I created that looks terrible in this light.
Yeah.
But it's in the book and looks much better in the book. Okay, so this is what I just explained to you. Here's the land value, $2 million, improvement value, $800,000. We sold the property. We bought it for, what did we buy it for, $1 million? We sold it for $1.4 million, right? So here's the land value again. Improvement, we had depreciated down to $509,090.9, okay? So that means we had to take and pay cost recovery tax, and that's $290,909.10. I think I did it for an actual specific period and number of years, and that's why it worked out this way. And then, for everything that we got above the purchase price, we're going to take and pay capital gains.